Good evening, YouTube. This is Kaylin Stern coming at you with my regular Sunday night dinner. A little later than normal, and I thought I would be delayed a little bit more, but I decided I'm going to go ahead and go live. It's the right time. There is Gil from Camp Pat Family Compound. Thanks for dropping in. I'm sure you have seen these halal MREs in the past, but this is the newer packaging that they're produced in. This is the same packaging style that MRE uses to put their MRE components in before putting it into the tan bag. But this is Sapaco. So they co-opted the MRE inner bag, so you don't get the clear bag with the peelable seal for these anymore. And I'm guessing this is 2018 or 2019, based on this packaging, and that most of the snacks or side items are in this color packaging, although there is still one in that silver that the halal MRE snacks used to be in, and they are snack heavy. And tonight I'm going to do something that I normally don't do with an MRE or other ration that comes with it. I'm actually going to use the Flameless ration heater. Normally I just boil the entree because I'm saving up the ration heaters. But I figured, you know, once in a while I might go ahead and use one. I see Pete is in the house, and Chris is here. So first, right off the top, we have the halal lentils in masala sauce. This is a vegetarian ration, so there's Quint. Thanks for dropping in. So if I go by this date, this 4-digit code here, with a 9 as the first digit, this would lead me to believe that this is 2019. And then there's another code here that starts with a 1, but I don't think this is 21 yet, because they would just now be hitting the field. And also the tear notch to open the pouch goes across this way, whereas older MREs would have the tear notch going across this way. So got Tropical Punch drink powder that will go in the drinking jar. Shelf-stable apple turnover, so an actual dessert this time. Well, this might be 2021 after all, because this has a date code of 0091, so this would be 2020. So maybe this is a 2020. I'm just going to guess that this is a 2020 on here. But that other one, so I'll go with the date code on the main, I would say I'll go with that first number that starts with a 9. Santa Fe Adobo mix. Now this is something I have never seen in a ration. 0123. So that's the date code on that. The accessory kit for these has remained the same for the halal MREs. You don't get the standard accessory kit they put the spoon inside it. Another mixed nut crunch. So this is different also. And the date code starts with a 0, so this is 2020. Some might say, well, why not 2010? Well, because of this packaging. This was not done in 2010 for the Halal MREs. So here's a flameless ration heater. Cranberry trail mix. So again, this is snack heavy. The mains for the older halal MREs used to come in a box, whereas now you just get this sleeve, like what comes in the current standard issue MREs. And again, these do not have coffee or a hot drink. So inside the accessory kit, you get the standard spoon, white matches, Atlas match, not D.D. Bean and Sons. Might not want to focus, but that says Atlas match on it. A wet wipe. Get the rear roll. Now, see, the salt and pepper looks like this. So you get salt and pepper. Now, all MREs should have pepper in them. But why would they put 2 packets of sugar? Of course, these accessory packets may be standard, but they still put sugar in them. But there is no hot drink, no coffee, no tea, nothing like that. And you get a brown napkin. It'll be the same color as the Canadian napkins. So I will put all these things aside. Let's see, JW's in the house. Thanks for dropping in. See who else snuck in. Well, I think that's it for as I said, I'm going to actually use this flameless ration heater. And because this one is very new stock, it should work. But sometimes these tear notches don't always want to rip. See, this one came off a little crooked, but I think it'll still work. Now, if I was using an older ration heater, I'm still going to do what I would normally do. See, if you're using an older ration heater, this has salt in it. So you throw the salt in. I pour the water in, and I'm slipping the pouch in. Actually, this bag is wanting to rip, so there we go. See this pad, you want it to be saturated. I'm sticking it inside here instead of using that sleeve. These are the insulated bags that I got from the Chinese ration that I reviewed. It's starting to make some noise, so I will go ahead and slip it back inside there. And I will just lean it off to the side. I do have a kettle of water on the stove, and that is for the coffee, which will be a 3-in-1, one that I got from Rachel's Sunshine Side of Life in that monster box of goodness she sent. But I'm going to go ahead and open up this drink powder. And these tear notches don't always want to work right. In fact, the tear notch was actually above the seal, but I got a way to fix that. That's why I keep my cheaters handy. Oops, sorry about that. This looks just like that regular fruit punch powder. It just looks so artificial. These have a tendency to take a long time to fully dissolve. While I'm doing that, I'll check the chat. I see Easy Money in the house. Thanks for dropping in. There you go. If you want to find that coffee, there's your source. Of course, my preference would be to go for my G7 3-in-1 coffee, but this Maxpresso is pretty darn good. I'll give that another stir later. Instead of my foreign MRE mug, I am using the mug that I got from Will at JIT Preparedness. And when you see the water going in, it'll reveal what the design is on it. So I will get that and I'll be right back. I just took you off the mount. It works the same way as Old Smoky's Bob Ross mug. See, the black nearly disappears. And as it cools down, the black will begin to reappear. So that's how that works. I'll put you back up here. But because I drink right-handed, that pattern will not show much. I just picked up my ration heater, so it's making some noise. So in the meantime, I also brought in, I took one of those little bottles of Tabasco to camp with me in March, and I used some of it, and I have a little bit left. This is one of those older ones that really got potent over time. So if the masala needs a little bit of a kick, I'll throw this in. So let's see what some of these snacks are all about. And look where they put the dang tear notch here, right in the middle of the pouch. Now go figure. Granted, it only goes up to about here, but I'm just going to cut it open. I put an oxygen absorber in here. Basically, it's a seasoned style trail mix with usually like sesame seed bits and almonds and peanuts. So that is a seasoning on the peanut. Now the mixed nut crunch. Then the tear notch is way below the top of the pouch, and it's actually below the top of the mix, so. In fact, I almost cut into one of the pieces, so I will put that here. An oxygen absorber. Well, look who it is, Art and Nina, foreignmre.com. Check out their site for their mystery boxes and all kinds of other awesomeness. Now this one, the tear notch goes this way, it seems like so. Nope, it doesn't. As a fake. So I'd cut into that one too. An oxygen absorber. See, that is how snack heavy this particular ration is. At least they had the sense to put a decent dessert. Probably what I should have done is I should have stuck this underneath the heater pad. By the way, that was a super chat that Art dropped. There is Biddy Boo from Oklahoma. I am going to flip the pouch inside the heater bag so that the other side has a chance to get somewhat warm. And I can feel the heat from the bottom, so I'm going to stick this inside here. Just inside the foam bag, not, this will not go into the heater bag itself because for one thing, that has already ripped. So, anyway, I'm going to give this drink another stir, this tropical punch. Since these do not have a tendency to dissolve completely. I don't know why they don't do something about these red drinks. Other countries, you get that, it's completely different. Their tropical drinks are not even red. They are more the color of a citrus fruit. In fact, I have just a tiny bit of water left in this bottle. I think I'll just go ahead and add it in. So I'm going to go ahead and start nibbling on these snacks. So again, this one is a cranberry trail mix. This one is a mixed nut crunch. In fact, I'm actually going to move my ration heater. I'll just put it there so I can get the tray more in shot. And this one down here, I'm actually putting the snack pouches underneath the end of the tray. So this one is the Santa Fe Adobo mix. So I'm going to go ahead and got toasted like corn nuts, sunflower kernels, I apologize for the noise. There's someone, I got my slider open and someone is out there revving their engine and honking their horn. I have no idea what the crap that's all about. That's got a bit of spice to it. So I do like that. Now the mixed nut crunch has some similar things in it, but seasoned differently. Got the toasted corn kernels, but it's got bits of pretzel in there. I have no idea what the heck is going on there, but this is the mixed nut crunch. Now the cranberry trail mix looks like it has more of a variety. Find a bigger piece of cranberry. So it's got, looks like it has bits of raisin stuck to it. So it's got almonds, but the peanuts and the nuts in here are not salted, and I don't think they're roasted. See, it's got two different kinds of raisins. But there appears to be more raisin than cranberry. Yep, those are just plain unroasted, unsalted nuts. There, I took a drink of my tropical punch. But out of these 3 snack mixes, this one I would rate first. I guess this it had these little bits in there too. I thought that was just that's like a very skinny breadstick or pretzel. So I would rate this one first, and then this one, and then this one last. I see Carla in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, these, in fact, all 3 of these would be great in regular MREs. Just this one, I think if they roasted the nuts, it would add a little bit more crunch. Maybe salt them. What I have still not been able to figure out is why Halal MRE would not have any kind of a hot drink in it. I don't know if it's because they're also given to Jews, because Halal dietary rules are very similar to kosher, except the kosher rules have some additional elements that the Halal does not, like mixing meat and dairy in the same meal on a certain, like certain major feasts or holidays. I don't know too much about that. A Jew would be able to answer that more than I could. But having coffee, even if you don't add the sugar and creamer in it, or if you just add sugar, that would be that'd be perfectly fine. After all, this thing had 2 packs of sugar, but what the heck you gonna put it on? I'm not gonna put it on the turnover because that should be sweet enough. And I'm not gonna put it in the drink because that would make it way too sweet. That'd be like drinking candy. Of course, if I would have chosen a tea rather than a coffee, I could have, or one of my Folgers coffee pods, where it's like a coffee bag, coffee inside of a tea bag store, style. I could have gone for one of those, but I wanted this 3-in-1 coffee. And it was pretty good. But yeah, definitely look up that Maxpresso. Here, I'll show you this Maxpresso 3-in-1. They probably do straight up coffee without the sugar or creamer added. So you could probably look for that if you so choose. Oh, this thing is getting very warm. I just pulled the turnover out. I got a paper towel to dry it off. I just sloughed the oxygen absorber off. So I'm going to go ahead and break this in half. No, it's apple turnover, not blueberry. I don't know. See, this is an apple turnover. It would have been nice if it was blueberry, but I can definitely smell the cinnamon coming out of there. I'm going to go ahead and take a bite of this while it's warm. Back in the day, Catholics were not supposed to eat red meat on Fridays all throughout the year, not just during Lent. But then that changed, I think, with the Second Vatican Council, I believe. When you warm these turnovers, that definitely amps up the flavor. Got the paper towel, so I will dry this off. I thought it was going to be a little bit looser than it is, but it looks like it's got other vegetables in it. So this is a vegetarian. I read the ingredients earlier, so this does not say that it's vegetarian, but it is, because there are no meat ingredients, no meat flavorings. But this is lentils and masala sauce. That could definitely use a bit of a kick. It's not spicy enough. That should help it along. Got to have a bit of a spice to it. It's definitely salty enough, so I definitely don't want to add any salt. But the Tabasco I thought would be a good thing to add in here, so that's why I brought it out. Oh yeah, that's better. Yep, this has a lot more kick to it. I like my masala as well as my curry with just a little bit of bite. The lentils are still well defined. They're not too soft. The sauce is about the right color that a masala would usually making a masala sauce. So there you can see the bit of carrot in between the lentils. The carrots are extremely soft. They have already gone to mush, even in the short amount of time that it's been in the pouch. So it'd be nice if the other vegetables had just a little bit more firmness to them. But it's still a very good mix. Let's see, I got some of these peanuts. And I'm going to grab some of these peanuts. I left these out since they've been hanging out with fruit. Actually, I'm going to throw a few of the corn nuts in there. There we go. There is Rachel, Sunshine Side of Life. People were asking about the Maxpresso coffee, so one of the other mods dropped the link for it so they can go check it out. There's Chicago in the house. Thanks for dropping in. There's Mike as well. Too bad Dub C wasn't in here. He could see a live megabyte, but I could still do that. Adding a bit of crunch never hurts. See, the color on the mug is, or at least the light color is fading as my coffee cools. I thought I would change it up and use that mug. Most of the time I use my foreign MRE mug. There is CR in the house. Thanks for dropping in. This is the 2020 Halal vegetarian lentils and masala sauce. And I actually used the Flameless Ration heater, which is still sitting over here, and it's still got a little heat in it. And it came in this style of packaging. This is like the inner bag of an Ameriqual packed MRE. So any military personnel or others who are issued these now would get this instead of the clear bag with the peelable seal like a standard MRE bag. And otherwise it's still the same. It's still snack heavy. There is no coffee or other kind of a hot drink. No cocoa mix, no cappuccino. Definitely no tea. At least no hot tea anyway. But with the snacks being in this kind of a packaging, they will be better protected. They should last longer. And they should not taste stale before their inspection date. I had one halal MRE that was still in date, and the snacks already tasted stale because they were in extremely thin silver colored wrappings. This you get 3 layers. So it's stronger, it better protects the contents. And of course, adding oxygen absorbers definitely helps. Yep. These two here are similar to the pub snack mixes. This one is somewhat similar to, I think, some that I have bought from Sam's Club in the past. Although they didn't have the corn nuts in there. You know, the toasted corn nuggets. But this one here with the adobo and a little bit of heat, that definitely steps up the snack game in these. And even this, although I see more raisins and cranberries. See, that's a raisin. There's a cranberry. But it still would have been nice if the nuts and sunflower seeds in this would have been roasted and salted to give it that little extra bit of spice. But very rarely do you see golden raisins in an American ration. Usually it's the dark ones. Now, when I first received these, I did put the name of the person who sent these to me in the description of that video, plus a link to his YouTube channel. But that name is blanking on me right now. But again, I think that fellow ration lover for sending those to me without asking anything in return. Oh, James is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I just finished off my vegetarian halal lentils and masala sauce. I got 3 different snack mixes. And as I said a little while ago, the halal MREs now have their snacks in this style of packaging, instead of one that's just a thin mylar, which still allowed the snack to taste stale before inspection date. But still no coffee. Yet 2 packs of sugar, 7 pack. There's no gum in there. But one thing that the halal MREs do have that all MREs should have, pepper. There should be pepper in addition to the salt. That would be awesome to put in there. There is Courtney's husband in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I don't know if my stream is being rated, but if it is, I don't care. But this lentils and masala sauce is a great option for vegetarians. But these snack mixes, I'm going to combine them. At least these two anyway. This is that supposed to be tropical punch, but European tropical drinks are so much better. I mean, I'll finish that off, no problem, but I just think that the European tropical drinks are so much better. They don't have that obnoxious red color that leaves a residue on your glass. But these kinds of snack mixes should be in more rations, because especially this one that has a little bit of a kick to it. This is actually really good. So Sapaco has stepped up their game with these. De Carlos is here. Thanks for dropping in. As promised last week, I said that I would bring out a Halal MRE, and this is it. Lentils and masala sauce. So no meat ingredients, but that's perfectly fine because that gives vegetarians an option. And I'm sure these would also be issued to vegetarians in the military who are not either Muslim or Jewish, but they would have to either find another coffee or tea or something if they wanted a hot drink. And this is an apple turnover done by Bridgeford. I put this in the bag with the ration heater, but just on the outside of the heater bag itself, just underneath the element to warm it up. It's cooled off by now, but that definitely helps these. It makes them taste better when they're warm. Oh, no doubt. I hope you can get some relief soon, because I know how that goes when it comes to pain, with my arthritis and my right knee not having any cartilage. But I still do what I do. I went camping last month, and although I didn't go for a longer hike like some of the others when they went hunting for deer sheds, which is deer antlers that have been sloughed off after the rut. So 2 in our group found some, and the 2 that found them, it was their first shed find. So I stayed at camp and I made char cloth and I kept the fire going. I've since divided that char cloth into 2 smaller tins. Nope, it was actually Tack from AOK Foraging and Adventures who started the fire. And then we just kept it going until Sunday morning. We cooked our breakfast and then let the fire die down and then put it out. Oh, I see there is a fishy visitor. Thanks for dropping in. Fishes and Lowe's Life. Well, I don't think lentils would kick off as much, but well, I'll usually find that out after the stream. But this lentils and masala sauce is pretty darn good. It did need a bit of a kick, so I added a bit of vintage Tabasco. And just for the sheer heck of it, I threw some of these 2 snack mixes in there. But I kept these pouches here. I would have to raise my mound up to get all of them in there, but this one here is called Mixed Nut Crunch, which is a snack mix I've never seen in a ration. And this one down here is Fe Adobo. And you can find adobo in most stores. It's a seasoning blend. Then this one is called the Cranberry Trail Mix. But there are more raisins than cranberries. So then this is an apple turnover. And I actually use the Flameless Ration heater. And it's still hot. So if it was cold and you use one of these, you take your food pouch out you can put that heater bag inside of your shirt to warm you up. There is Will. I am using your mug tonight, but it's already gone back to black. So the color is already gone. I use coffee from a Sunshine Side of Life megabyte box of yumminess, because this MRE didn't have any coffee in it. But I did go ahead and use that. At that time, I would just call it a practice timeout. Mila is sleeping in one of her, it's supposed to be play cubes, but she'll just go through it, or she'll lay in it and sleep. Yeah, she's 17 and a half years old, so she's going to sleep a lot. Yeah, this apple turnover is actually pretty good. It's got a good cinnamon flavor. It's got decent sized bits of apple in the middle. And when it's warm, it's even better. Well, it's good to see some new faces in here. Outside of Ramadan, I do these at 7 o'clock Central or 8 Eastern. But because during Ramadan, I do not eat till just after sunset. That's why my streams are delayed, but I still want to do it. And because of the big nasty, I'm spending my nights of Ramadan at home instead of at the mosque, which is where I would be if it wasn't for that thing. But with what's going on now, hopefully next year we'll be able to return to doing not only the nightly iftar dinners during Ramadan, but we've done regular Friday lunches. So we would serve lunch after the Friday prayer, which would be equivalent to Christians going to church on Sunday. and Jews going to the synagogue on Saturday. And we used to serve lunch, except during Ramadan, and then we would have special dinners for weddings, for the couple having their baby, or for a funeral. So our kitchen gets a lot of use. And we have invited people from out, just the city at large to come in on a certain, like we would have an open house or something like that, or a speaker would come in. And of course, visitors are welcome at any time under normal circumstances. But when people go to pray in the mosque, instead of standing right next to each other, they're 6 feet apart. Everybody wears a mask. And basically, after you get done with your prayer, you're gone. Now, Ramadan will last between, it could be either 29 or 30 days because it follows the lunar calendar. So I started my first fast on April 15th. So May 13th or 14th would be the last day that I fast. And then under normal circumstances, we would all go to a large area, say like here in Des Moines, it would be at Hy-Vee Hall or some other large venue here in the city for the Eid prayer. And then parents would give their kids gifts. Or people would go visit other, I was invited a couple of times to visit people in their homes. They gave me a ride, of course, because, they don't live on a bus route. I would so buy this mix in a store. As there are people who will take foxes in, maybe not necessarily as a pet, but to give them a safe place. For instance, if it's injured and it needs some rehab or just a safe place to recover. Yeah, thanks for dropping in, Quint. I'll probably go a little. I stated that I might go on at 8:40 Central, 9:40, but I obviously went on earlier. But each Sunday will be just a few minutes later. Yeah, yeah, that can happen. Or it could happen, say there is an injury that would not completely heal, that would make it much more difficult for it to survive in the wild. So it would stay in a sanctuary where it could be properly cared for. Now, last month, at the Country Pepper Memorial Camp 2.0, as I like to call it, there is a group of resident coyotes, and we heard those. They're on the other side of the pond, but we still heard them. And Saturday night, they were really whooping it up, so apparently they must have scored. Because when the others were looking for deer sheds, one found a rabbit sign. But then Saturday night, those coyotes were whooping it up. And we just guessed that one of them snagged that rabbit. We heard turkeys, we heard pheasants. There are geese flying over. And we heard lots of birds that I have absolutely no idea what they are. There is CT in the house. Thanks for dropping in. That's pretty cool. I had a 2020 vegetarian halal lentils with masala sauce. which I jazzed up with a bit of Tabasco. So they have improved the packaging for the snacks over the older versions. Oh, definitely didn't get any of that white stuff here today. In fact, it got up to 64 Fahrenheit, or I'm probably guessing that would be like 19 Celsius, something like that. Up towards the Minnesota border, they could have had it, because it was a lot colder up there. Yep, I don't doubt that. Of course, Waterloo is actually not too far from the city of Cedar Rapids, where Johnny of Prepping Life, that's where he lives and works. But yeah, we've been having some crazy weather. And tomorrow and Tuesday, it's supposed to be in the 80s Fahrenheit. But cooling off a little after that. Well, hopefully you'll have a good rest tonight so you can get back at it tomorrow. Here in Des Moines, 80 and 35 meet. So if you're familiar with those two highways, they meet in Des Moines. And then there are two other ones, 65 and 5 meet on the south side of the city. Welcome back, Sierra. I'm just finishing off my my nut crunch. This mixed nut crunch. The Santa Fe Adobo mix. Finish that off. But yeah, I would buy both of these mixes in a store. Yep, those are probably going to get more popular. Especially with people who are scent sensitive. When I worked at a Walgreens, there was a woman who was extremely scent sensitive. Not only did perfumes or products containing a perfume would set her off, makeup would, because she could pick up those scents from the makeup, like the eyeshadow, the foundation, stuff like that. The scent from those would just cause her grief. At that time, employees had to go to the cosmetic counter to pay for their purchases in order to get the employee discount. And it bothered her so much that I offered to go make the buy for her and then just give her her stuff in the break room. She never took me up on that, but she knew that was my standing offer to her. But yeah, people who are scent sensitive like that have to be very careful of the personal care products they buy. Well, thanks for dropping in, Mike. Good to see you again. So next Sunday, I think I will bring out that Minotaur Trading Company beef goulash MRE. When I saw that on the site and that it was available, I knew I had to get it because that's an entree I haven't had yet. So I decided to go for it. Yeah, that's kind of how I do some things. Fish is I like for my when I go camping. I have some items inside smaller bags within my pack. I even had my, I had one bag for all my electronic items. Some of them I never used because it was just too cloudy to really test out a solar panel that I took. But that's okay. I'll have plenty of other opportunities to test it out. It's that folding solar panel that I bought to go with my mini power station. Now, MSG would not be in a wet wipe because MSG is a flavoring. It's a seasoning type of ingredient. If you buy this stuff called Accent, it says meat tenderizer. I think that's loaded with MSG. Now this has red 40. I don't see red 5 much. I'm finishing off my apple turnover. Yeah, that can be a good thing too, especially if you have the kind of a lens case that you can close up with a zipper or just a clamshell. I just grabbed. See, this is a makeup bag I found in a thrift store. But what I keep in it are my shades. It's a little too wide for this pair of shades, but my other one was getting so beat up that I had to replace it. And I kept looking in thrift stores for a suitable bag, and I found this. So I grabbed it. Thanks for dropping in, CT. Hopefully we'll meet up next time. Maybe well, Smokey is going to do his stream tomorrow night. I think he'll post up what time. But yeah, thrift store score. I find a lot of cool prep items in thrift stores. It's one way to prep on a budget and to find things that you may not otherwise be able to find. At least very easily. You know, that mini cast iron skillet I have, I paid $3 for that at a thrift store. In fact, this shirt I'm wearing, I recently bought it at a thrift store. I showed it in my last thrift store haul video. Oh yeah, I took mine there because I wanted it to taste fire, and I cooked some breakfast sausages in it. I do want to get some more cast iron. at least a bigger pan. But eventually that'll come. Well, have a good rest, Rachel. Thanks for dropping in. Oh wow, that would have been a good find, Chris. I found a few books in thrift stores myself, and I look at the book section every time I go in. I don't often see a lot of what I'm interested in, but I found 2 home improvement or home repair books in there, one in English and one in Spanish. And yes, I did buy the one in Spanish because that is a language that I do know. I studied it. And I figured if I run into someone, after the crap hits the fan, and that person speaks mostly Spanish, but needs some info on how to do a repair, I got the book. That would show that person how to do that stuff. And plus it would just help me learn those words just because I like messing with languages. I learned a bit of French in high school, but I had to go to a junior high school to do that. And in college, I messed with a bit of Russian on the side. And when I was more active in coin and currency collecting, I used to look up coins and notes for people because I had different books, different coin and currency reference books. And so I would look those up. They would send me a picture, and I would look it up and then return an email, or if it was in a live chat, I would I could give them what it could be valued at. But of course, looking at a picture is not the same as looking at the real thing, just holding it in your hand and putting it underneath your loop. Well, thanks for dropping in. Sometimes I'll call her Fishy. That's one of the things you gotta deal with when you're a parent. Yeah. I'm just an aunt and a great aunt, so I love them, and I either go back home, back to my home, or they go back to theirs. Well, I do have some canned fish, and I do have some MRE crackers, but I don't think I could upload that. Oh, well, that's awesome. Now, one of my sisters was supposed to get the J&J jab, but it was paused, but then I sent her a text Saturday, yesterday, saying that it's up for grabs, so that if she still wants to chase it, she can. Because she works for ESA, she would go through the VA to get it. That's where she was originally supposed to go to get hers. So I don't know if she's gonna go ahead and they'll rebook all those appointments, or if she went and got one of the other two. I don't know. Well, thanks for dropping in, Carla. I'm probably going to go ahead and close this out, too. After all, I just have my drinks left. I ate all the food. Well, I'm not going to just open up the salt and pepper and the sugar and just eat it. I'll save these. I got a bag that I keep all my matches in. Yep, I don't know. See, these are the same. Doesn't want to focus, but yep, these are white. This is white with white tips. I don't know if that color means anything, but I do save all these matches. And of course I save all these spoons. I got a whole bag of these. But again, next Sunday I will bring out that Minotaur Trading Company beef goulash MRE. It'll be interesting to see their take on it and what kind of a ration heater. I'll probably just, go back to what I normally do. But anyway, I'll figure that out next week. But that should be a good one. I'm so looking forward to that. And then I got a few more MREs. And I also got my second golden ticket Arctic field ration, which didn't have a prize in it, but I don't care. It's still going to have good food, and that's pretty much why I got it. Mila decided to go have a munch herself. I thought you were going to have a munch, Mila. Is that not true? She likes to walk around under my feet. Mila, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Sorry about the jolting, but Mila, show that pretty kitty face. Mila, are you going to show me that kitty face? She'll just rub on anything. Won't you, Mila? Mila kitty. There you got your kitty porn for the night. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. So, hope to see you all, maybe a few other new faces next week for some goulash. Do check out Minotaur Trading Company for an MRE. And there are other sources too, so. Anyway, thanks all for watching and catch you on the flip side.